folks, this is the game Calico, and there's some things I really love about this game, and there's some things I don't really love about this game. Now, I think that if you play with some variants, which I actually didn't even look in the rulebook to see if they say this or not, but it's really interesting as I set up I think it's a basic game is what it said. Let me open the box here. So we've got beautiful, beautiful contents. I will say, as far as contents go in games that I've played recently, these are just absolutely beautiful. And as far as a tile placement game goes, there's tons of tile placement games. Lots of us have played Azul, and there's a bunch of other ones out there. There's Patchwork. There's a lot of tile placement games where you've got a map, you're putting tiles on it each turn. There's Cascadia. There's a bunch, but this one right here is really unique in that you have a board. Many you don't have a board at all, but this one you have a board that even has a border. So every single game you finish your game and the pieces fit in perfectly, and it's so nice because other times you might bump something and if you bump one of your other boards or maps when you're playing a tile placement game, the game's trash. There's no way you're going to get it back. You have to restart. There's no way you're going to be able to figure out where everything was if you bump it in a difficult way. Now this one, given if you're not very far in the game and you bump it, it might be really hard to get things back, but you might bump it a little bit and things kind of keep their shape depending on how much you have in there. That's fantastic. I love it. I love that. So that's really, really cool that you have this inlay right here, some on the outside, and these are different for different boards, so not everyone's playing with this exact same thing, which I kind of like that as well. Now, jumping into the rules. At the very beginning here, there's a beginner setup and a standard setup, and the beginner setup I thought would be like really simple, but there's so much to keep track of in Calico that is it looks like this really easy, friendly, family, fun game to dive into, and it can be, but there's so many layers. You have these cats that you're looking at trying to make different shapes with these cats. Okay, so that doesn't sound that simple, but then you're looking at designs that you're making with those cats. Okay, that's a little more complex. But then there's also base rules of like different things that you combine, different colors get you different buttons you can put on. Okay, that's fun, but now you're combining both of those. But then wait, there's also 3 tiles that you're putting onto your board every single game that also have little things you're trying to get, and this is not a very big board, and so trying to make all of that make sense is insanely difficult because you're looking at colors and design on every single one of these, and there's 6 of each, so we got 6 colors, 6 designs. So this one has polka dots and it's pink. Simple enough, but you're looking at polka dots and pink, and you're looking at all these cats, all these designs, you're thinking of color, you're looking at these, you're looking at your board. There is so much to keep track of. It is overwhelming, and it is not a family-friendly game in that sense, in my opinion. Now, what I would recommend, and I don't know if there's a variant in here. It seems like variant. Okay, family variant. Fantastic. So they do have a family variant right here where you don't play with the design goals. That's fantastic. I love that. So that is great. I think that changes up the game a lot, which, keeping that in mind, I think this is a fantastic game because you have this really entry level, like very easy ways to change up the game to make it as family friendly as you want. You can not play with those. You can not play with the cats and just play a really quick, simple game trying to match colors and shapes. You can change whatever bonus points you want. It's that kind of a game where you can do that really, really easily. But then if you want to get in depth, like I have some friends that really enjoy in-depth games. My wife doesn't, but I have some friends that really enjoy in-depth games. I could see the 3 of us playing this and taking forever on a turn because we're looking at everything, trying to figure out the best possible option, the most points, best decision, and taking a really, really long time to play this game. So that is basically what I wanted to mention, is there's so much packed into this box that looks like this really light, family-friendly game, and it can be that, but it's not designed to be that. It's designed to actually be a really deep game where you can sit here and look at all your options for 10 minutes. Like, you really, really can take a long time on your turn, and some people will hate that. And so because of that, having this variant in here, this family variant, is something I would definitely recommend. Maybe starting out with that, maybe getting into it a little bit, and then adding on some stuff and getting deeper and deeper. Maybe even not even playing with the cats the first game. Just saying, look at these buttons. You get bonus points if you have 3 of the same color next to each other. Let's just do that and see what happens. So I'm kind of, it's an interesting balance of this game because I think there's so much fun that can be had in this game. It is so beautiful. The contents are phenomenal, but there's so much more going on than I expected at first, that as long as you know you don't have to play like that and you can change it up, which I'm a huge proponent to changing up any game you can to make it as fun as you can for your group, because that's the whole point of games, is to have fun and enjoy the group you're with. So that's my review. I think this is a fantastic game. Just keep in mind, specifically this family variant on page 8 right here is well worth playing. And again, just change it up how you want, but do know that if it's a little too simple, you want to change up the game in the other direction, you can play it as it's designed, and there's so much depth, so much to keep track of, which is super fun for me. I just want to make sure other people know that, because when I looked at the box and everything, it looks like a very simple, straightforward tile placement game, but there's a lot of depth to this. So hopefully that gives you guys a nice little touch and a taste of this game, what it is, what it does, and why it may or may not be right for you. Thanks.